Reusable ice cubes, y'all.
What one should we do tonight? We'll do this one.
With the flaming windmills.
Yep.
Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christ the royal master leads against the foe. Forward into battle, see his banners go. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Oh, for a faith that will not shrink, though pressed by every foe, that will not tremble on the brink of any earthly woe, that will not murmur or complain beneath a chastening rod, but in the hour of grief or pain will lean upon its God. A faith that shines more bright and clear when tempest rage without, that when in danger knows no fear, in darkness feels no doubt. Lord, give us such a faith as this, and then whate'er may come, we'll taste and hear the hallowed bliss of an eternal home. A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, a never-dying soul to save, and fit it for the sky, to serve the present age, my calling to fulfill. Oh, may it all my powers engage to do my Master's will. Arm me with jealous care, as in thy sight to live, and O thy servant, Lord, prepare a strict account to give. Help me to watch and pray, and on thyself rely, assured if I my trust betray, I shall forever die. Rise up, O man of God, have done with lesser things, give heart and mind and soul and strength to serve the King of Kings. Rise up, O man of God, his kingdom tarries long. Bring in the day of brotherhood and end the night of wrong. Rise up, O man of God, the church for you doth wait. Her strength unequal to her task, rise up and make her great. Lift high the cross of Christ, tread where his feet have trod, as brothers of the Son of Man, rise up, O men of God.
Good evening!
Let's just buy.
The Saints with perfect
I got a bug bite and it's itching.
and shenanigans.
Yep. I buy the Saints' professionalism and shenanigans.
Good to see Carol. She says good evening. Welcome back to another Random Talks. Random singing, random talking, maybe a few random jokes to just set CJ on blissful laughing humor's edge.
Oh boy. I'm not ready tonight. Hi, Heather.
Hello, Heather. Good to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you, sister. Remember, if you have any song requests, feel free to put them up.
Or Bible topics.
Or Bible topics. Or just random topics. I got my beets in the ground today, as well as my radishes. Hey, this is
Yeah.
a bit cool. Well, sister, that's definitely understandable, and we don't blame you nothing for missing out.
Right. She was here this morning for Devo. We had a good discussion this morning. Didn't we, Heather? How 273?
273.
Sure.
Feel free to shoot and blow a hole in that wall.
Let's hit it. You might pull Angie and have multiple streams dedicated to it.
Yeah, Angie had like three streams dedicated to her question there last time.
I'm not ashamed to, my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross. Firm as his throne, his promise stands, and he can well secure what I committed to his hands. Tell that it's I survive. Then will he own my worthless name before his father's face. And in the new Jerusalem, appoint for me a place. You don't know that one?
The lyrics are familiar, but I think you sang it to a different tune than I'm familiar with. Either that or there's another song that sounds really close to it. I mean, the lyrics look mighty familiar, but I can't place a tune to them. Darlene! Good to see Sister
Darlene. Sister Love.
How about 274?
All right.
Softly and tenderly,
Jesus
Jesus is
calling
calling for you and
you and
for
for
me.
me.
See on the portals, He is
Is
waiting
waiting and
watching,
watching,
watching for you
watching
and for me. Come home, come home, ye who are weary, come home. Earnestly, tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling, oh sinner, come home. Why should we tarry when Jesus is pleading
for
and
you
for
and
me?
for me.
Why should we linger and heed not his mercies? Mercies for you and for me. Come home, come home. Ye who are weary, come home. Earnestly, tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling us sinner, come home. Time is now fleeting, the moments are passing, passing from you and from me. Shadows are gathering, life's end is coming, coming for you and for me. Come home,
Come home,
come
come
home.
home,
Ye who are weary,
you
come home.
home.
Earnestly,
Tenderly, Jesus is
calling,
calling.
calling, come home. Oh, for the wonderful what He has promised, promised for you and for
And for me.
all we
Oh, we have sinned
have mercy and pardon,
and
pardon for you and me.
me.
Come
Come
home,
home,
come home.
come home,
Ye who
you
are come
come
home.
home. Oh, sweet and beauty,
Jesus
Jesus
is
is
calling,
calling.
Only the sinner come home.
Oh, you got it. Yep, you did.
What?
You did get a good one, Heather.
Angie drags in.
Head over to 2 Thessalonians.
2 Thessalonians.
The man of lawlessness in 2 Thessalonians, who is he? Alright, let's find that passage first and then deal with that.
Good to see you, Sister Angie.
First and 2 Thessalonians, First and 2 Timothy, Titus and Philemon. Second Thessalonians 2.
Ooh, I love the second question. I like them both, but I love the second one.
Let's deal with the first one and then
I know.
then the second one. Second Thessalonians 2.
2 Thessalonians 2.
Alright, so let's start in verse 1, work through the text together and see who we can gather who this is. Now
far
we
we going?
beseech. We are going to verse 1, and we're just working our way through the text.
Okay.
Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, and by our gathering unto him. So what event are we talking about in verse 1? What's the event?
You're going to have to say that again. I had you too high.
Well, what event are we talking about in verse 1?
Verse 1's part of a greeting, a little bit, and it's a beseeching by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. So it's in regards to Jesus' coming and our gathering.
So we're talking about the second coming, that ye be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand. So don't be shaken up. Don't be deceived by anybody else, because the day of Christ is near.
The purpose of this beseeching is so that you do not be shaken or troubled.
That's right.
That's the purpose of this beseeching, as we say.
Verse 3, let no man deceive you, for that day will not come. What day? the coming of the Lord, verse 1,
Mm-hmm.
that day will not come except there come a falling away first. So the church is gonna experience a departure, a falling away. It's not gonna be destroyed. That's not what the text says. But before the Lord comes, there will be a departure, and you could argue there's already departures in the Lord's church from the divine pattern. So this isn't like a sign of the end times, it's the sign of the age we're living in.
There were people that fell away in Acts, weren't there?
That's
Am I
right,
right?
yeah.
There were people who fell
Uh,
away.
so falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Now, who is that man, that son of perdition? Is it uh, is it a specific person? Is it a son of a man of destruction? Well, let's see what that a vessel perishing. Let's look at man. What's that word, man?
Son.
No, that man
Oh,
of sin.
Man of sin. Human being.
Human being. Interesting. This word can be used to represent mankind, include all human individuals, to distinguish man from beings of a different order. So this could be generic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the Hebrew, if there is a word for man, actually put your finger here, and I want to see something. Go to John 1, and you can catch up on comments while we turn there.
Okay. Um, Darlene asked Angie how she's doing. Angie says she's doing all right. And Darlene asked Darlene how she's doing. Darlene says she's hanging in there. Heather says, "Hey, Sister Angie," and Angie says she's in and out of the reading, etc., due to her schedule, so she does miss a lot of things and apologizes. Well, sister, we totally understand the being in and out due to schedule.
Right.
We're not gonna blame
Yeah.
you for it. We just hope your schedule works itself out better.
That's right. We are grateful to have you here. So go keep your place in 2 Thessalonians 2:3. I want to see if it's the same word in John 1:30 when Jesus is when John, the Gospel of John, when John is introducing Jesus, John the Baptizer is a forerunner. This is he of whom I said, after me cometh a man. What's that word? Is that the same word? Is that the same?
No, it's
No.
not.
So a nair. That is in reference to sex of a male.
Gender.
This one, right, gender. So it's not a name in 2 Thessalonians 1.
Husband. Yep. Any male.
This is a so 2 Thessalonians 1 is different than John 1:30, which includes a male. Jesus is a male. And so from the Greek, we can tell that the Son, the man of perdition, is not
Is
talking about one
it's
male.
it's not a specific person.
It's not a specific person, it's
This man of
mankind.
sin is just people who sin.
That's right. So, so let's go ahead and look at that word again. Man of sin. The man of lawlessness.
Just skimming
And
through this is G444, which is
that's
generic to all humans.
right. A human being, whether male or female. So if we look in the Greek, it's not a who is he, it's a who are they.
Mm-hmm.
Who are them. So the man of perdition is not one man. Let's keep reading. No one deceive you by any means, for that day shall that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. There's gonna be a falling away, there's a departure, there's already been departures. John talks about that in 1 John 4 and uh, and when Paul writes to the church at Ephesus in Acts 20, he says, some will depart from the faith among you. So,
And what
falling away
happens with the falling away?
what do you mean?
And what happens with the falling away?
People fall away from the faith? I don't understand your question.
And happens with the falling away.
Yeah, well right. Well, you should have said what happens next. I guess. Falling
And
away,
what happens next?
and the humans, what we could literally say the humans of sin should be revealed the sons of perdition.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's you. And notice what notice what they do. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he, as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God. Couple of things there. People make this a great end time passage, and they say, see, there's gonna be a man sitting in the temple of God, prideful. Well, two things. One, we know this is talking about man as in humankind. It's personifying humankind. And two, what is the church? Whoops. Well, what is the temple of God right now? Well, what is God's temple?
Well, that would be
Well,
us.
right, it's the church.
We are the
So,
holy vessels.
right, Ephesians 1, Ephesians 2 talks about how we are the church, uh, and that we are being built up in a holy temple for God in the Spirit. So,
This verse,
uh, uh, Ephesians 2:19. Go ahead and read that. Through 22.
now therefore, ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints, and of the household of God, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth into unto an holy temple in the Lord.
Alright, so we, the church, is called the temple. Alright, Darlene, good to see you. Have a great night, sweet sister.
You take care, sister. We love you as well.
So we go back to Second Thessalonians 2. They really, the ones in the world, are sitting in the midst of the church, exalting themselves. Mm, yeah,
You know what this verse
we
reminds
see
me
that
of?
today. What?
I said, you know what this verse reminds me of?
What?
The saying that Grandpa will use every so often. He's a self made man who worships his own creator.
That's right.
This is a fella or a group of, there's many people throughout time who have done this, but a fellow who has opposed, refused to bow down to God's will, and has crowned himself king of his own life.
Right.
Sitteth on the
And
temple as far as he's concerned.
right. So he's among the church. He's among the. He's sitting in the church. He's among the church. The church is the temple of God, and he thinks he's so high and mighty. Which again, the pronoun could be they, because the word is not one individual. This group of people exalts themselves above God, and he's sitting in the midst of the church, and he's so high and mighty that this group of people are so high and mighty that they actually think that they are God, that they make the rules. You know, I'm up here, you have to bow down to me just like God would. We people in the church just like this man. People who are bloated in their head and they're high-minded. They think they're the best people in the world. But that's the idea. So, verse 5, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? I warned you that people are going to come in and, and do these things, Paul says. And now ye know and now ye know what withholdeth that he or they might be revealed in this time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So what's Paul saying here? The mystery of his iniquity is already at work. And he who lets him in will let these people invade. And these people are gonna come in and exalt themselves and cause problems until they're dealt with. And how are they dealt with? Well, the wicked, the Lord will consume these people with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And so when the Lord comes back, these people, humans, he's going to
Reveal them.
right and destroy them. So
He's going to
consume
chew them
them.
out.
And so these people may think themselves to be somewhat high and mighty, but when the Lord comes back, he's going to put an end to it. They're going to be consumed.
They're going to be consumed with the spirit of his mouth. Depart from me. Depart from me.
That's right. Good cross reference. They're going to be told to depart from me and never knew you. Verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. I feel like that hymns may be different. I think that may be individual.
I'm thinking that hymn is still Paul just using the singular tense to describe a group of people. Yeah, that's not even in the directory here.
Okay.
This goes for whose, but it doesn't cover that.
By the way,
So this gray is
right.
This gray is a part of a different text as well.
So, well, no, that's not a good point. But anyways, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all powers and signs and lying wonders. They're all gonna be judged. the group of people who are lying and deceiving with all these powers and signs and wonders, these people will be judged. And with all unrighteous deception among those who perish. Verse 10. Because they, watch that, they did not receive the love of the truth that they might be saved. Wait a minute, Paul. Let's uh, ignore the Greek for a second. The English proves it's not one man. You're talking about a man, but then you talk about they. See, Paul's talking about a group of people, and he's using uh, the one to uh, he's using one image to represent a whole group. For example, we do this today. Do not love the world. Uh, no, that's not a good example. John 3:16. Go ahead.
We looked at the Greek, and the Greek has humankind, right? Humankind, when it refers to man
Right.
up there. We know that that's how it was originally written in the Greek. We get down here to verse 10, it says, and because they. Everything in between, though, has been singular in English. I think that's probably an oopsie on the part of the translators. The KJV people, they just threw man in there, son of, and him to kind of make it flow. But in the original Greek, it runs they, them, you know. Because here we are, we finally get down here to 10, and he uses they. I think they had a shift change of the scribes.
I don't know about that. There's probably a reason. Probably different word. Maybe Paul wrote it like this to be kind of ambiguous. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that because they would be reading the Greek, so they
Mm-hmm.
would. But I don't know why the translators said man. Probably because one of the definitions. Go
They took
back
one
to that.
definition and ran with it.
Right.
And then they got
But
back, oh, wait, oops. That's translated as plural. Oh, oops.
but anyways, even if
Regardless.
Paul did do that, and he's using man to represent all humankind, uh, that's not unprecedented in the scriptures. For example, John 3:16, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Now, did God love a green spear floating around in space?
A
Or
rock.
did he love what?
A rock.
Yeah, a rock essentially that he made? Or did he love the people in the world? Of course, he loved the people in the world. And that
Hey,
may be
Randy.
what's going on here.
Um, Randy, the question was asked, who is the man right here of sin and the son of perdition? And we went to the Greek, and it's man as in mankind of general use, not
Yes.
just a singular man. And Paul
So,
continues, or it was translated as singular, who, himself. And then we get down here to 10, and all of a sudden it's they. And they fits with what the Greek translation is plural.
right, so they did not receive the love of the truth that they might receive. That's why they perish, because been they were deceivable and unrighteous. By the way, that's today's time, right? All of this could be is talking about today. For this cause shall God send them strong delusion that they should believe the lie, that they all may be condemned who did not believe the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. These people will be judged because they believe they did not receive the love of the truth and they believed a lie, and so God will give them over. God will let them do what they want to do because they're already rejecting uh, Jesus. And so that they all may be condemned who do not believe the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. So
Their
that
charge,
comes, right,
I was going to say, their charge is they're charged with unrighteousness, loving it. Not believing the truth, but loving a lie. And then they're charged with, um, well, charged with wickedness in general, iniquity that they work, and then exalting themselves and calling themselves God.
right.
That's their charge. I just wanted to list currently what they're being charged
Well,
for.
well, that's right. Yeah. So the long and the short of it, Angie, is that the man of righteousness we've seen from our study tonight is not one man. Paul uses that word man to describe the whole
Human.
mankind.
Yep.
And we can prove that two ways, the Greek and then the context, because Paul switches uh, pronouns. Uh, they all may be condemned who did not believe the truth, uh, which maybe the translators did a bad job in the first 9 verses, because in the Greek it's all bad in the plural.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like we see Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Well,
Well, that's
that
cool.
word Elohim is in the is in the plural.
Look at this. Himself right here. The temple of God showing himself that he is God. I just went into the he himself for the Greek.
Yep,
Paul's using plural through all of this.
that's right.
So it's the
So,
translator's dealio, Bob.
uh, Randy says interesting, not like the left behind stuff. Nope. Yeah, I have a whole teaching him rebuking that idea. I find this interesting. CJ and I basically by the other night mentioned that I remember heard that was the second time. Well, I'm not sure that is a typo, but or you're mentioning somebody else named Levi, but Levi is not a bishop.
Randy says, it will be on my to-do list. I'm taking a study that stuff. He says, oh, I'm kidding. I thought he was joking. Archbishop Levi just sounds so professional. Pope CJ. Woohoo!
I am not God on earth. That's what these people in Second Thessalonians do think themselves.
Right.
So, did we answer your question, Heather? Or did we muddy up the waters? I tried to move slow.
Basically,
yeah,
the short of it is. Come on, train of thought, come back. All right. All of this in between 3 and 10 is plural. It's not a single man. It's not a single person. It is them, they, themselves.
Yep.
All plural.
That's right. So, basically, do you want the long answer? Well, so let's deal with the Joshua 5 or 6. Also in Joshua, I think chapter 5 or 6, it says that Rahab's home was in the wall and the walls fell. Did her home fall with it? Well, if it is in the wall, Joshua,
I was close. It was a typo.
if it is in the wall and the walls fell, I'm thinking,
Basically, the short
her
of it
home was
is
Pufta. But I'm not
not her
sure
home.
if it her
Her home didn't.
house.
Her house did. Once she vacated it, which happened, they were vacated. When the spies when they came through,
I'm not sure if the text says
hey,
she
that's
lived in the
interesting.
wall or not.
I gotta find where this is at. Actually, I better look at this before I open my mouth any further. Where is Rahab? I'll just search it.
Just search Rahab and put it to Joshua. Uh, I don't think it says her home was in the wall. Let's see.
Yes, Randy. The condition was the lives and anyone who was in her house was going to be spared, but nothing of the physical dwelling. Everyone was going to be spared. Right here in 6:17, that's what it says. The city shall be accursed, even it and all that are therein, to the Lord. Only, an exception here, Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in the house are going to live. Because she hid the messengers. I think I remember something about either the men ran upon the wall or her house was on the wall. I'm trying to find that.
Oh yeah, 2:15.
2:15.
Then she let them down by rope through the window, for her house was on the city wall. She dwelt on the wall. So yes, her house was destroyed. It went kaput. Interesting.
That's a funny thing because, before Israel went in, the walls fell first. The walls came tumbling down. Then they ran in. So,
the walls did not come tumbling down.
Well, that's true. The wall fell out flat.
Yeah, we always think the walls came tumbling down, and they did not.
They kind of tumbled, but they didn't crumble. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope we did that justice. Good study.
I suppose if the Lord protected them while the wall fell, they would have survived in the wall when the house fell over, when their wall fell over.
I guess, yeah.
Either that, or they were in a portion of the house that wasn't totally built onto the wall.
I think. And we are running out of time quickly, aren't we?
She dwelled upon the wall. That is one of them random off-the-wall side questions. Randy says, check the Hebrew. I bet the house means family or household. That is in certain cases. It definitely does. Like when I looked into 6, it doesn't even mention that the household or Rahab's house will be saved. It says all that are with Rahab in the house. So it doesn't even mention as the household being saved. It's just everyone who's in the house will be. But I know it does in certain cases,
It couldn't have been destroyed because it says in chapter 6 when they go up, but Joshua had said to the 2 men who had spied out the country, go into the harlot's house, and from there bring out the woman and all that she has as you swore to her. So apparently, I don't know how.
So you know what would be cool?
What?
Is if God pushed the walls out but just left her house. That one section of wall. That would be so cool.
I mean, yeah, there's something.
Remember, they didn't fall naturally by any means.
miraculous there because they went into her house and got her out. So, interesting side note. That kind of adds to the miracle a little bit.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you think about it, the walls did not fall by any natural force. It was God's
That's
doing
right.
that made the walls fall. So, by all means, an all powerful God could have just left her house stand while he pushed the rest of the walls over.
That's right. So,
Now, as I recall, one of their conditions was they have to stay in the house while the pillage happened. That's what she was told by the spies. Stay in. Don't come out. So,
interesting. All right. Well, we have exhausted our time. Let's sing 122. Now the days of night is drawing nigh. Shadows of the evening steal across the sky. Jesus gives the weary calm and sweet repose. With thy tenderest
mercy.
may our eyelids close when the morning rain comes. Then may I arise. Your refreshing tenderness in thy holy eyes. Good night, Randy.
It was good to see you.
Yes, good to see you.
Good to see everyone that was here. And we wait for
You can go first this time.
Mine's better at the end.
Come on, man. Let you go first. Change it up a little bit.
Thank you all for being here. As always, it's a pleasure to see each and every one of you here. Till we meet again, God bless you all. Love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all for being here. And remember at CEM, we want to do 3 things. We want to glorify God, edify the saints, and answer any spiritual questions you may have. Keep those questions coming as they promote Bible study. It was a fabulous study working our way through the text. I've learned something too. I was actually learning as I was teaching. So that's always fun. Thank you all, and good night.